What's up, Yankee Jeff here with another reaction to Soft White Underbelly. This is my channel. This is not your fault, and this is a recovery channel. And I often highlight people that are actually battling addiction, and some success stories, some not. But I wanted to show that these are human beings. Not every addict, not every alcoholic is some sort of piece of garbage. None of them are. They're human beings. They all have souls. They all have hearts. They all have feelings, and they should never be looked down upon. But this show, Soft White Underbelly, which I'll leave a link in the description down below, this gentleman, Mark Leda, he finds people on the streets of California and Los Angeles, and he interviews them and asks them how they got where they got. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. This gentleman's name is Patrick, and he is a crack addict. So let's go ahead and give him the respect he deserves. Again, thanks for tuning in. Oh, and this is over. Please stay to the end because I want to ask you guys a question about something. Maybe you guys can help me with it, okay?
Well, I mean, just to be completely straightforward with you,
Yeah.
I've been smoking for like 4 or 5 days. This was put in front of me as a possibility this morning, and my inclination is fuck it, like truth. I want the truth, but it also is true that I work for the city of Los Angeles, and I'm supposed to be there right now, like this whole week, in fact, and I'm not, and all of a sudden here I am, like.
Yeah, but we don't know when this is being shot. We could have shot this back in November.
Yeah, I'm inclined to just do it, and it's the truth, man. It's the truth. The one thing I hate is the lying about who I am.
Well, let's see how truthful we can be here. All right, so Patrick.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Laverne, California.
And tell me about your childhood. You had both your parents when you were young?
Yeah, my parents divorced, I think when I was like 4 or 5 years old, but both of them were great relationships with both of them, always to this day. Lived with my mom until high school, and my dad's like philosophy was that boys need their dad in high school, so we moved in with my dad. So I lived with my mom, and then my dad. It seems like it was I was even feeling bad reading some of like the other stories. Like I don't have these like overcoming things, you know, like that I had to overcome for this. It had a lot of like freedom, like low accountability, especially in high school. You know, we were just kind of allowed to do whatever and start drinking and partying. But,
What kind of student?
Good high school.
What kind of kid were you in high school? Good student?
Like valedictorian level, almost, you know, like pretty good, really good.
You go to college?
I went to college straight out of high school, the Claremont colleges, bombed out, developed the crack addiction during that time. And so dropped out, went from like straight A's to dropping out. And that started a string of attempts to go back to college because I was always very smart, gifted, that I finally wound up doing in my 30s at Harvard.
You went to Harvard?
Yeah.
And what did you study?
I studied history at Harvard rather randomly. So I was living in New England during my, like from age 25 to 33, just constantly in rehab, like all the time. And I was in an organization called Teen Challenge. That's like a hardcore Christian rehab, and I would.
So here's a guy that was almost valedictorian of his high school, went to college right out of high school, went to Harvard. This is not an unintelligent person. This is not an idiot. This is not somebody who's just a drain on society. It's a very intelligent person. Again, addiction is an equal opportunity employer. It will pick anyone that's willing to let it in the front door.
Rate and like stay on and work on staff, relapse, and that eventually led me there because California like couldn't like start me anymore. I like, and I was just there. I was enjoying life working there, and randomly at a church service, a woman came up to me and asked if I was a good student randomly, and I said yeah. I said I get A's or F's depending on how I'm doing, and she said Harvard Extension School, it's Harvard, you know, for people that are like career age that go back to like a school at night. So I went and looked it up, got in. I didn't know if I was gonna be able to hang. Totally hung, did well there, and studied history.
And what is the difference between what'll separate an A or an F for you?
Oh, I either get A's or I'm not there.
You don't care?
I'm on crack.
Oh, is it crack that's your?
Oh yeah, everything, what you're gonna hear me say, like the bad is crack.
Hinges on crack.
I'm on crack.
And crack started for you at what age?
Okay, so crack started for me, geez, I think 19 or 20. But so what led me to crack was prostitutes. And I don't really even know why I was so sort of like intrigued by prostitutes as a thing, as a thing that was out there. And I remember literally like a friend of mine in high school that his cousin would take him like bowling on Saturday nights, and they would go down the prostitute boulevards of Pomona just to like yell at them, and like it was like a funny thing. And I heard that, and my brain's like, prostitutes. And I started going down to Pomona. I lived in Laverne. I don't know if you're familiar with that area. So Pomona's a crack, especially in the 90s. This is like the 90s. And yeah, my girlfriend was a captain of the cheerleaders. You know, I'd be like, totally. And then something, I'd want to go down there too. And I went down there, and I started going down there regularly, and they were smoking crack. I hit a crack pipe probably several times, probably 4 or 5 times, without knowing, never having heard of crack existing as a thing. I didn't know that there was anything called crack. I didn't know anything about drugs, and hit the crack pipe because I was with them, and then finally one time I hit it right. And immediately I told her, let's go get more of this immediately. And from then it started being more about the crack than the prostitutes. Damn, here we go.
So drugs have been an on and off issue for you for a long time?
On and off, but like the major issue in my life, you know, so.
Are you married with kids or anything like that?
No, nope. I'm 42, single, because of crack, you know, like all that would be there.
Yeah.
Are you working?
Are you working?
So, yeah, I have a job. I don't know what's going to happen with it because I do the same thing every time I smoke crack, which is, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like, I don't sleep, I don't stop, I spend every dollar. I'll spend, I don't know, you said see how honest we could be. You know, like, I'll spend 15, 20 grand.
Oh, my God.
In a month.
In a month.
Yeah, like right now, so I had 7 months sober on Christmas night, right? What is it? What's it right now? January 5
January
or something?
7th, I think.
Okay. And then, you know, like the pullback is prostitutes, right? But if I'm gonna go get a prostitute and I'm sober, I'm not gonna go to Figueroa or not gonna come here. I'm gonna go to like where you pay like, you know, way more, and it's like, you know, someone like in a hotel, like an escort, you know what I mean? Like, but I would do that, and like something would just bring me down there. Something about having the connection of like the two things together, you know, the crack.
And at Figueroa, you can get crack and a girl.
Right, the girl.
Yeah, it sounds like he has 2 addictions. He's addicted to sex with prostitutes and addicted to crack. So this is very interesting. Very interesting, very sad, very interesting.
So, yeah, like having a girl that smokes crack too. It's really sick. It's a really like, it's like a fantasy that, oh man, like, it's disgusting. Like I don't even know why I'm so willing to sit here and talk about it to
Sometimes it's cleansing and healing.
Well, yeah, that is what I've been thinking today. Like, you know, like, I told
a lot of people that I've interviewed have said I haven't used since I did that interview with you.
Really?
Not a majority, but more than a handful have come back and
well,
said,
dude, stay in touch with me because that would be amazing. I mean, I know for sure I'm going to use after this interview, but like I didn't like have another binge.
As Lewis, one of the gentlemen that I
another
talked
binge
to,
after that.
He says just tell on yourself. The more you tell on yourself, the more.
Like I am a tell on yourself sort of person. Like sometimes I'm what they call like an oversharer, you know. I mean that's part of the self-centeredness of the disease of addiction. I actually know quite a bit about the disease of addiction, which doesn't really occur to me much when I'm smoking in it. I think you're interested a little bit in the sexual piece, like, so that part of it is what it is, but like sort of evolved over time to where, first of all, crack's terrible. Like as far as drugs go, if you want to feel good, like every drug's better than crack. I don't know if you've ever done drugs. You smoke weed, better than crack. You drink, better than crack. Like crack's awful, right? But the one thing it does is when you take that hit, for what it does for me, is an extreme, intense feeling of euphoria and desire for sex and a fantasy sort of like mentality towards it. You know, so like I want the closest female to be giving me oral sex immediately at that point. And then on the flip side, it's pretty much impossible for that to work because of the physical thing of crack. You know, I can't get an erection, but that's what I want, and it's like insatiable. Like it'll be common for me to be in a motel room by myself, always with pornography, watch porn like constantly nonstop when I'm on a crack binge. Never watch porn even for 1 minute when I'm sober. It doesn't even occur to me. And I'll take the first crack hit, and I'll be so convinced that like the nearest woman wants to like have a porn scene with me.
If he's spending up to $15,000 a month on crack, what is he spending on the prostitutes? He must have a really good job or a pretty good savings account, or he's a trust fund baby or something. But man, my heart breaks for this guy. It really does, because he's obviously not proud of any of it. But he has no, this is very cathartic to tell a perfect stranger the skeletons in your closet. You know.
That I like will literally walk out of the motel in my underwear and just scan the parking lot to see if there's a woman there, because I'll believe like the fantasy's that deep. So this is disgusting, but this is the real thing.
This is crack.
That's crack. That's crack. And so yeah, I do that. You know, try to time it, like take that hit and go. And so that's where like the money gets super stupid, because like I take a hit crack and money's it doesn't matter. You know, like how much, take it all. You know, take it all. Just do what I want, because I just don't have control.
Is it destroying your life? It sounds like it's pretty destructive.
Horribly destructive. So there's that part. Yeah, so, you know, I was in Teen Challenge for, you know, like 7-8 years. And, you know, you relapse in a Christian ministry program where you're like up the ladder. You know, you lose your salary, your place of living, you know. So I finally decided, after like being shipped to Puerto Rico and doing Teen Challenge for a year there, to come back to LA and just get a job, like get a regular job where, you know, like my mentality at that point was like, you know, if I fuck up and relapse, well, my job's not gonna fire me, you know, like I'm not gonna lose my apartment, you know, I mean, not that night, you know, like Teen Challenge, and then, you know, can keep trying. So came out to LA, got hired by the city of LA 6 years ago. And like, it's a really good job, especially for a crack addict. You know, I always like put myself down like I have the best job of all the crack addicts that are on their first day in Narcotics Anonymous, but the worst job of anyone that graduated from Harvard. You know, but it's a good city job. There's great people. It's engineering. I have a great brain. I got a really great. I know I do. I have a great brain, and like the worst addiction of all time.
So what do you think this is? What's the core of it? Is it something that happened in your childhood? Is it low self-worth? Is it just an addictive gene in your body?
I mean, I mean, all the above. Nothing in childhood. I mean, I was, did I say molested? Yeah, hard for me to call it molested, because it was like, they were like 10, 11, 12-year-old girls, and I was like 4, 5, and they were just like wanting me to do sex stuff, you know? And I was just a little boy. And I didn't even think of that until like several years of, you know, I've probably been to rehab a million times. Then the binges are getting more and more, you know, like it really sucks that I'm high right now, and you know, like the last time I went on a really bad one. These last couple times, it's like, I haven't really felt it this time yet, but it's like just like for example, like this came up. You know, someone like pulled a gun on me like during my last binge. You know, you know, I don't even know. And I was absolutely like not even a little bit scared. And I told him like, what's that? Like, you'd be fucking doing me a favor, you know, because it's like so destructive. You know, like I finally came clean at work after having, you know, I'll go take a hit, then it's like a weekend, then it's like missing the next couple days of the next week. That might show up, you know, I'll get back there like on a Wednesday, and then literally Wednesday night, be gone for 6 weeks, gone. And like, what I'm doing for that, as much of that time as possible, and especially in the beginning, is smoking crack, like not caring, ignoring everything.
Can I ask you to take the shoes off, just because they're making so much noise on the floor?
So the body movements, Jesus. I wonder how much this video is going to affect my life. The body movements. This is like typical day 4 of just doing nothing but smoke crack.
Of a crack.
You bounce around.
Are you eating at all? Sleeping?
No sleep. Let me try to give you just an idea of a binge. I came home from Lake Havasu, where my mom lives. I was actually happy because I got through Thanksgiving and Christmas this year for the first time since 2016. It was like I always relapsed in November. And coming back from a relapse is just, going back to work. It used to be always pretending. The last time I did it though, I got honest at work. Felt really good about that. So come back Christmas, and whatever happens, whatever the stupid idea was. Like I know people now down there. So I used to like start with like a random person on the street, and that would just be awful. This time it's like a girl like I'm friends with, and just decided to go for it. Like I went down there and asked around, and she called me, and we got I don't know, $100 worth of crack, and I go to the ATM and pull out 500, 1,000, and so that was like December 25. I think it was a Friday, and by Wednesday morning, still awake, I'm burnt out of money, and I wind up going home and sleeping and not going out for the rest of that week, and telling work. Now I have to tell work, like it's like I'm not there because I'm smoking crack, basically. I mean, I don't say that, but that's what, I'm not gonna lie, especially when they all know, and I hate lying. So, but it was like, okay, we could like come back to work I work Tuesday through Saturday, so like come back to work on Tuesday, like that's it, and this could be okay. And after the last binge, we made a couple adjustments to the money where I couldn't, it wasn't just all coming to me, just to try to like sort of manage. And so being back to work Tuesday, which was, 3 days ago. And on Monday, like I needed to get a haircut, I needed to get my car washed, I needed, like, to feel good. My paychecks go to my dad, and then like, I always have like whatever I need, Venmos it to me. And my poor dad, man. And here's the thing about addiction though. I was like I did my budget, like, okay, how much, and just for the record, because I did like crunch the numbers, I spent $4,250 on the December 25 through 29. Oh. $4,250. Don't tell them out there. Wow. Just everything must go. So I convinced my dad, you can just send it. I'll pay the bills. I gotta go to work tomorrow. This sends me $3,500.
Your parents know that you have an addiction problem?
Oh yeah, 100%. They know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
and if you weren't a crack addict, you probably wouldn't be going down to Figueroa or wherever anyway, right?
I wouldn't.
What's that called, people? What's that called when you know somebody's an addict and you keep on sending them money? Right. Enabling, codependency. The smart move would be just go ahead and say no more, and force the person to find another alternate means to feed their addiction or get sober. But we can't be everyone's safety net.
You wouldn't?
No.
Yeah.
Oh no, like just to get a prostitute? Oh, probably not.
No, pretty much all the tricks I've talked to, drugs come into the picture.
Yeah. There's a whole section of Figueroa where they don't smoke. They don't, actually I went exploring that last night with a guy I met.
What part is that?
The northern part. So like, you could tell with girls, but I wouldn't be interested in that,
You want the girls who are...
I want either just get high and be crazy, or like go to like escort, or what I really want is like get some self-esteem and get a girlfriend and a wife and all that. But that comes, with being sober long term, and I haven't been able to get past a year. So like, literally, and like it's just the worst behavior, the most like, just I don't care. It's like so selfish, and I'm like still numb to that. I know that's real, but like, yeah, give me the 3,500. We're good. And
I've heard you're one of the most loved tricks on Figueroa. You take care of the girls nicely, I assume.
Well, yeah, I do, and it's like partially lack of control. Like, oh, that feels so good, just keep doing, you know. So, yeah, there's like, it's like that's not how you. It's too much, you know. It's too much. But I'm also very generous, you know. Like I'm out here, yeah, everybody smoke. Yeah, I want people to love me because I don't love me, you know. So, but there's a lot of ways to think about it, you know. Like I have a job, at least for the moment, that like a 6-figure salary job, and I roll up down to where people are like homeless and, you know, just like want to smoke and got to pay the rent and all that, and like I try to, you know, but sometimes I feel like it's sort of like a slap in the face, you know, like here I am, ready to go, ready to like go max, you know, and you know what I mean. And
did you guys catch that? He said he wants people to like him because he doesn't like himself, so he passes out the drugs and the cash. He wants everyone to be his friend because he doesn't like himself. So he's not a friend to himself. So he tries to funnel other people there to be nice to him. God bless this man. I feel so bad for him.
And there's a lot around that, but mostly it's lack of control. But yeah, I'm generous. I'm nice. Like what I want while I'm smoking crack sexually is like, what's the word? It's like, it's unattractive. Well, not unattractive to everybody. It's a very demanding ask. It's like kind of gross. It's, you know what I mean? It's like, it's something that like 95% of women would be disgusted by. Let's put it that way.
What you're requesting them to do?
Yeah. Like I want to lay down in a motel room and smoke crack while you give me head, while you give me a blowjob, and I want it to be awesome, and my penis is gonna be limp the whole time, and like it's just kind of like gross, you know. It's not like that's not how sex is supposed to be, you know, between a man and a woman, and so that's what I want. Like that's what I really want, and so like my approach has become like
you want to not be erect when you're doing
no,
it?
not that. I wish I could.
I'm confused what you want.
I want that. I want someone to do that. That's what I want the activity to be. Me smoking crack, getting like an awesome blowjob.
Yeah, well, it's probably pretty common down there.
It's to like have it be like, to have it actually feel good. It's like it's quite rare, and and it can't be demanded, and so I don't. Like basically what I'm hoping to run into is like someone that's actually going to enjoy themselves, like hanging out and getting high, and then yeah, that's where I'm willing to, you know, be generous. And it's so disgusting, man. But the majority of like people that you're trying to solicit won't be like into that, or it won't, or they'll say they are, but they won't be, and it won't feel good. And I'd rather just like not even do it, honestly, than sort of like force them to do it.
And you've been through rehabs and stuff like that?
Shit. Yeah.
Where do you see your life going in 10, 20 years? You think you'll still be doing this?
Oh my God. I mean, just.
It'll kill you.
Yeah, like, again, I don't, that'd be a relief. Like this is like, I can sit here and talk about it in a way that makes it sound like less.
You're kind of talking about it as if it's just a crazy weekend you're having, but
yeah,
I'm
describing it like a entertaining account. You know, like, hey, check out this story. You know, like, oh, my story is, you know, but really what it is the most. The words can't even describe it. You know, I talk about always the first wake up after a crack binge. The first wake up, where it's like, you wake up. First 2 seconds waking up after that is like normal wake up. Like I wake up every day, 4:30, drink coffee, go to work. And then a couple seconds in, it's like, oh, this is different. Oh yeah, I like just blew off everything. I said fuck you to everybody. Like my phone right here with all kinds of like normal people that love me is just being ignored. Ignored. And I'm right here. The next crack hit, the next crack hit, the next crack hit. And like, it's the most embarrassing. It's just indescribable.
So this is your day 4?
Yeah. So
is this the end of it, or
so Monday night, knowing that I had to go to work Tuesday, and I wind up smoking crack.
You're heading into a weekend here. Is that going to make it like a 7-8 day?
I'm going to run out of money. I'm going to probably run out of money today.
Oh shit! I'm going to give you money now though.
Yeah,
And you're going to burn it all on crack.
yeah, but it won't be. Yeah, but it won't make it.
I feel like I'll hold off on giving you money, and I'll see you in a week or 3.
That's cool. I'm not gonna.
Just to protect you from more self-destruction.
Yeah, it won't protect me.
It won't.
Like the difference between I don't even know how much you're planning on giving me, but that's going to be an insignificant figure.
You're going to figure it out.
Yeah, like this is going to be it though. What are you going to give me 1,000? Nothing close to that, right?
We'll see.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, we could talk about that. If we want to do something like when she told me you were going to pay me anything, I was surprised, honestly. When Amber told me that this morning.
Well, I mean, you're not going to come out here and talk like this for free.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. Yeah, actually, shit.
See?
Yeah.
See how this works?
Yeah. Well, then.
But I don't want you just to burn it all.
Why?
Because you're just.
What do you want me to do with
I'm contributing to your self-destruction.
No, you're not.
you're gonna argue that point strong.
Well, no, I mean, like, I'm not gonna argue trying to get the money out of you. It's really like.
No, I just don't want to contribute to your
generous,
addiction.
but no, I mean, like, it's at least I did something for this part of the money. So
You're incredibly honest. I'll tell you that.
Wow. So I go ahead and I smoke crack. What's funny is that I went and picked up a crazy girl. So like last binge back like in May, I got into methamphetamine, like way more than ever, and got into some methamphetamine people. And so like, here's another thing about it. I'm sitting in a motel room, smoking crack, watching porn nonstop, no sleep. Like now, drive around, I think I just like driving like from South Central up to, because I had a motel in Alhambra, or just like the Mexican ladies walking up the street to buy the groceries. I'm like checking out each of them, just sick in my head because of all that. And I'm kind of rambling. So there was this girl that was like a fantasy girl when I met her in May. That was like, it's like beautiful, like young, Hispanic, like just beautiful. And like I'm smoking crack, they're smoking meth, and I'm like, let's let that happen somehow, which would like almost never happen. Like it's not like I'm like out there like closing the deal. That girl winds up being like just the poor thing, like out of her mind, psychosis, out of her mind, talking to like unreal, invisible things, like a 5-year-old, right? Hung out with her, it was crazy. So I decided Monday night, instead of, I don't want to get high, I gotta work tomorrow. I'm gonna go, because she texts me all the time, like, oh, I want to see you again, I miss you. She's like a child. She's just like, I go and pick her up. I decided that's the thing I'm gonna do. And maybe I'll smoke a little meth, but then I'll be able to go to work tomorrow. Just delusion. And I went and picked her up. She was still equally crazy as last time, immediately. We got a room in Whittier. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go downtown and get some crack. And Monday night did that. By Tuesday morning, I'm in my apartment, like the first day of a crack binge where I'm just scared of anything. And I text my work, I'm not gonna make it, I'm not gonna make it. And that's the last thing I said to him. That was Tuesday morning. So, yeah, it's.
And you haven't lost that job yet?
I haven't lost that job yet. I have not lost that job yet. But it's like.
What do you think most people don't understand about addiction? People that don't use.
Yeah. Like the lack of choice in it, which kind of sounds like a pussy move, like
You're certainly intelligent enough to know better, but it's not about intelligence.
Right. So like, okay, yeah. Like even like with no sleep and everything, you like, yeah. Here's the thing. I know exactly what's gonna happen. Like I know if I take this hit, I'm shit canning like really bad for 6 weeks. I'm gonna hate myself. I'm gonna want to die. I started wanting to die the last binge, like really, like kind of changing my views about death being a negative thing, and I do it anyway. So, like the whole idea that you can just don't do it, just man up. for a real addict, I think that's not, that's what the broken part is the mental thing that does that. But, you know, like, I was really heavily believing in, I still maybe will, in the 12 steps. I somehow went old school, Alcoholics Anonymous, like straight from the book, and was loving it. And like for the first time ever, without really like, it just like sort of evolved into a thing. Is like, you know, the God part. Like it has to be God. Like I have a mental thing that only a supernatural thing can break, and like these steps are the way to do that. And you know, like I literally like missed like maybe 1 or 2 days in 7 months of, you know, 4:30 a.m. to like 5:45, prayer, meditation, feeling great, doing the whole thing. And here we are, you know. So, you know, my sponsor, can I read something he texted me?
Sure.
I don't know why I've been reading this to people. When he texted this to me, I cried, and a little bit. Oh shit, hold on.
It's a disease, people. It's a compulsion.
As I'm talking about crack, the various crack sort of hustling is going on outside. Okay, about George here. I've read this to a couple people. It doesn't seem like, you know, so I talked to him, and this is like in between the 2 relapses. He says, Patrick, it's not a big deal. I know it feels like it is, but that's you. In the grand scheme of things, you're a child of God and being so incredibly human that he probably loves it. And that hit me.
Amen.
You know, like, I became Christian through Teen Challenge, and I can just say, like, I know that's real. I don't know what you believe about that, but Jesus Christ is God. Like, I know that's real. You know? And why do I have the shittiest addiction of any human ever? Is a question that maybe I'll know the answer to someday. You know, but like right now, like, this is another thing I realized. It's so like thoroughly, like just thoroughly inconsiderate and egregious in every way to every person, like, with no hiding. And like the payoff that I get for that, I realized, is being able to keep smoking. Like this part of just being as high as I can be, that's the antidote for that feeling. Just take another crack hit, take another crack hit, take another crack hit, take another crack hit. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, there's a little bit of momentum brewing from here and there, of like losing the job and like being like down here, you know, maybe down here. Maybe that's what it takes, you know, for me. Like I'm not scared of that. You know, like I even think like, you know, for me, you know, cause I've become a real pretender. Like you'll see me and you'll think to go from whatever to have it be such a huge swing, right? Huge swing, and so irresponsible, you know, like versus like someone that just does crack or does drugs or does it as a lifestyle and adapts to the day-to-day of whatever that winds up being. I wonder, I don't want to do this, but I wonder how shitty that would be if it would be shittier than this. You know what I mean? Shittier than pretending I'm a civil engineer when really I'm a crackhead. Yeah, like I signed up to take the civil engineering, professional engineering test on January 26th. I already paid for it. I was like, I was doing good on the studying, you know? I was getting like excited, like I'm gonna pass it. I'm not gonna tell anybody what work I'm taking, I'm gonna pass it. I'm probably not gonna pass it. Actually, still might, but probably not.
Not in this state.
Yeah, not in this state. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, hopefully I get clean and it sticks. But how could I keep? I know, like it's like I tell the statistics. You know, like that'd be great, but like, what do the statistics say? What's going to happen? What happens every time? That's addiction. That's the disease of addiction you asked earlier. What do people not understand? Like the disease of addiction means you have to use. Like it's going to happen. It's not if, it's when. That's the disease. That's real addiction. So, yeah.
All right. Patrick, thank you so much for being so honest.
Yeah, like this is a blur. Give me something like
It is a disease. It's not a choice. Maybe initially it was a choice the first time they used, but then it becomes an addiction, it becomes a disease. Because not everyone's wired the same way. You might be able to have a hit of something or a drink of something and be fine. Some people aren't. This is the soft white underbelly of society. This is what's happening all over this country in great numbers, but it's in the shadows. Now, places like Los Angeles, it's not in the shadows, it's out in the open. California has become a den of iniquity because no one's enforcing the laws. It's horrible. But this is a reality. This is a real reality show. That garbage you see on television, pop the balloon and this one over here with the thing, and that's all garbage. That's all scripted trash. This is a reality show. This is real. These people are living, breathing human beings going through trauma, going through extreme tumult and anxiety. We gotta pray for these people. These are the people no one's praying for. When I say pray for the prayer list, these are the people I'm talking about. No one's praying for these people. Say a prayer for the prayer list. Keep coming back. It works if you work. You heard Patrick say it. The program works, but you have to stick with it. You gotta stick. You gotta keep on taking your medicine, people. You gotta keep on doing it. Like, subscribe. The comment I had was to ask you a question was, have you ever seen crack in person? Ever seen someone, using crack or seen it in person? I never have. I grew up in South Florida back in the 80s, and the big thing was cocaine. I saw that. Of course, I saw marijuana, but I've never seen anything, all these new fancy drugs, meth and crack and all the rest of them, fentanyl, they all came after me. So I was just curious to know if you've ever seen crack before, and if what part of the country that you saw it in. So thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate you guys subscribing, liking, and leaving comments. I'm going to keep on doing these software underbellies because I think it's important that people realize that these are human beings. They have souls, they have hearts, they have spirits, they have desires, but they're being held prisoner. I do appreciate it again. God bless you all. Have a good evening, and by all means, come back next time. Amen. Peace.